in case you thought this was a family film, and foreshadowing. The very first thing you hear is the music that later becomes the centerpiece of the father-son relationship. It's ominous, brooding and haunting. Sets the tone of the movie right from the start.
उसकी एक sexy बेटी थी युवरानी.
Not often do you see an old guy done by a young actor, right? The hair and makeup is great, but look at his mannerisms. Like how much is he extending his hand, the turbulence in his voice, his slouch and his body tremors. Old man Kapoor nails it. A Mercedes in India in the 90s is a clear mark of the ultra-wealthy. Sinks are rich. Fun fact, vehicle registration plate in this scene has white over black, but vehicles in India today have black over white. That change actually happened in 2000 while this scene is from the 90s. The attention to detail is remarkable. There is a nuance in Charu Shankar's acting. In a movie about anger and revenge, at least someone understands the importance of child psychology. MJ's posters on the wall. They'll come in handy later.
Third grade के final exams के बाद मैं पहली बार मिलने वाला था अपने father से.
Wait, what? Third grade? Pehli baar. Now this could be a flub by the child actor, but let's assume this is part of the movie lore. Absentee father for the first 8 years of a child's life. That is going to mess you up. This plays really well into our boy RSB's consistent yearning.
या दुनिया में सबसे first.
The score and the badass entry. Take note, filmmakers, you do not need muscles for your actor to melt the screen.
You have a big pelvis.
You mean to say I'm fat?
Looks absurd, sounds absurd. But can you imagine any other actor embodying this role with such finesse?
Thanks for coming. Greetings.
Cigarette pack under a tight t-shirt. Ingenious, Vijay.
Haircut एक commitment है. It's a very special gift.
Charu Shankar does justice and then some more with the limited material that she is given. And she looks regal while doing it. A little on the nose maybe, but here's the physical manifestation of what RSB sees his place in the family. The music in this movie. It has its own character and fits so well with the larger theme and quality. Though on a personal level, this is a war movie. You constantly hear the war drums and the visceral kind of western music that plays right into the bloody nature of our lead guy. No shaky quick cuts, an immersive wide shot and a very real chase. The visual grammar of Animal is top notch.
You trained me well, Papa. Take care of your family. चाहे उसके लिए family क्यों नहीं छोड़ना पड़े.
Vijay is an unhinged persona. Hates his father for how he was treated, but idolizes him. Thinks his father abandoned him, but will go to any lengths to defend. And Ranbir sells those emotions in every scene. But senior people, go to a therapist. Don't let trauma consume you.
आज यहाँ gravity पे करते.
Vijay thinks gravity works differently on plane than on land. I don't think he's quite the
Mr. Spacecraft Engineer.
overconfidence in Vijay does not fade away. That is some character consistency.
Right?
Amazing composition this shot. Low angle shows power dynamic, Ranbir's eyes convey traumatic anger, and the music tops it off with haunting clarity. This has to be a homage to one of the most iconic psycho killers of all time. Here they are side by side for your viewing pleasure.
मैं हाथ जोड़कर शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ.
An anger-fueled psychotic man standing in front of a cross seeking revenge, and an army in front of him that chants. Is this subtle tongue-in-cheek? And he counts like Germans too.
We order 3 glasses. That's the German 3.
आकाश या पाताल, वो मनुष्य हो या राक्षस.
The music and dialogue lend to this strong undertone of a war. Not modern, but mythic and medieval. The concern in Shakti Kapoor's eyes is one of the rare gems of reason in this chaos. He knew a champ who became a devil. Majestic beard. That's it. If you're gonna have a long beard, this is the peak. It's fake FYI. I love that the Punjabi is not oversimplified. The emotions here are far more important than the actual words. Adds to the authenticity of the characters and the conviction of the environment.
सर उसने मुझे कुछ पेपर्स दिए हैं जैसा आपने मुझे सिखाया था.
On the nose physical similarity aside, voice of Balbir's double is different. At this point, the movie is patting its own back for circumventing Bollywood tropes. The blocking and composition of this shot is beautiful. You want Vijay to stand out and his power to show through. Upendra Limai is unforgettable in this short appearance. Hot-headed and egotistical, but a man for the job. If I had a penny for every time someone got inspired by the Korean classic Old Boy for a hallway fight scene, I don't think I'd have too much money from Bollywood, but you know what? This scene actually does justice to the original. It's visceral, gritty, and unapologetically graphic. The cinematography is on point, the direction builds up the tension, and RK's aggression and ferocity really brings it home. This could have ended up being such a gimmicky scene. There is no good reason for those masks. But everything from sound mixing, camera work, choreography, and not campy music comes together to make this one of the best fight scenes in recent memory. This feels like Ranvijay's subconscious talking. He knows. He knows he's crazy and, dare I say, fundamentally bad. Thanks, movie. What a name drop. Until now, he's been fighting as Balbir's son, getting in the way of Balbir's enemies. But now, it's Vijay's fight. There is no underselling this carnage. Hundreds dead, and after one point Vijay was not killing people, he wanted the world to burn. Good choice of garbling the audio. If only for a moment it lets us get into Vijay's shoes.
देखा सबका मूड लाइट कर दिया मैंने.
There is one Vijay that is obsessive about taking care of the family and keeping their mood light. And then there's the other, numb and hurting. Look at those eyes.
आप प्रोसीजर हो.
हाँ तो नहीं पता ना प्रोसीजर.
Forever Dapper Tubber. And obviously RSB has a standout color.
Don't start it again. Quiet.
Looks like RSB had a role model for quote-unquote alpha male growing up.
So I have this local guy Freddy. You can get in touch with him, he'll coordinate everything.
I know this guy, Vijay. I don't want to meet this guy again.
Freddy is rude to everyone.
I want a war like men.
Unfortunately, Vijay needs war to stay relevant. Apparently, sweep transitions were popularized in 70s Hollywood by Star Wars, but they became gimmick over time. The use here is still so fitting, pitting two animals against each other. There is no dichotomy here. There's no two sides of the coin. This is the same side. If it's Saurabh Sachdev doing exposition, I won't mind it as heavy-handed as possible. Dramatic mutism is an odd thing to bring up right before the wedding, but the movie does not cut any corners in its world building. DJ Bobby goes from enjoying and happy to broken and sad to rage in 30 seconds. He has range. While he's given the textbook evil guy look here, he's a long way from the maniacal laughter one-note villains. Also, it's interesting both the brothers have so much to say just with their eyes.
भाई नु इश्क हो गया.
इश्क एक हफ्ते में.
Sunny is the voice of eagle-eyed audience. If you're not fooled by the voice of Vishal Mishra, don't worry, you're not alone. Here's a fun fact, waiting time for a Rolls Royce is generally up to 6 months, sometimes even more. So either Vijay just bought a second hand, or he's making a fool out of Zoya with a knockoff, or I'm too poor to know how rich people work. Is it the third one? I think it's the third one.
I wanted to come to you with a clear conscience.
Rashmika Mandanna does a fabulous job of this overwhelming barrage of anger, dejection, and sadness.
There won't be one day of peace in your life.
And there's the crux of the movie. All the love and all the chaos in Ranvijay's life unfortunately stems from the same person, his father.
I really wish he had died that day.
This entire sequence of 6 minutes of marital turmoil exists in this revenge saga. That's a win. It's not a by-the-books exposition machine. The trust that Sandeep Vanga has in his characters lets them become more than just a one-note face. Nothing screams power louder than loading guns in your private plane. Dapper suits, fancy cars and private planes. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this was another one of the Punjabi gangster songs. This little glance speaks so much more than words. I like how the at times non-linear narrative serves the main character. Vijay did not see the shooting, so you did not see the shooting. Call it vivid imagination or whatever, but the use here adds much more gravity. Maybe until now, Abid still thought that Abrar would come out alive. But this moment is the end. And Saurabh Sachdev wears those emotions on the sleeve. I didn't get to gush on him much, but Saurabh Sachdev is an amazing actor.
Vijay, I'm leaving you.
This right here is a great ending. The stakes were not for nothing. This is the cost of revenge. It makes you do horrible things, brings out all the pain and leaves you hollow. I know there will be a sequel, but I hope that things don't go back to sunshines and rainbows. In summary, let's be clear, there is no taking over the flaws of Animal. Narratively, the latter half drags and confuses itself with a good 45 minutes in RSP's healing. The movie isn't particularly smart either, as the attack of both sides is just pure brute force carnage. Both the animals of the movie, RSP and Abrar, are morally reprehensible beings, and I hope viewers recognize that. RSP breaks laws, believes that bootlicking is a sign of submission, and he physically and mentally abuses his wife. Abrar, in his little time, disrespects and abuses his wives and kills freely. Maybe the reason people have issues with Animal is because a lot of it celebrates RSP. He is the conventional hero and is burdened with some morally upstanding duties like protecting his family. How can the hero not be a morally upstanding person is a very weak argument. If you are looking for a comeuppance for RSP, then this movie is under no obligation to provide you one. Still, at the end, his marriage is in shambles and his family is more broken than before. And based on the future black and white scenes, RSP remains hurt by his father. There is no peace for this man. Okay, rant over. So why this video? Because in a market full of movies with moral saints and soldiers and spies saving the country every other Friday, Animal offers something fresh. But fresh is not enough, just ask Joker or Bar Bar Dekho. One of the best things about this movie is that it does not rush through its world building. Characters are allowed to have character. They're allowed to have conversations with each other, have complex relationships with each other. Random backstories like the one narrated by Abrar's wives adds to the lore. And by far the biggest win of the movie is its conviction. This is not what you would call a potboiler, where a laugh track would play in a comedic scene and where evil is extremely evil and good is holier than thou. This is a revenge saga and the central revenge serves as the north star of the narrative throughout. Finally, the movie is technically brilliant. The sound design is befitting a war movie. The production design does not let a single frame throw you out. The makeup team has done a brilliant job of taking us through a multi-decade journey of RSP. And the acting is sincere across the board. Each single element of the movie fits rather perfectly within the quality of its narrative.